All right, so today I want to talk about something that I actually think is a huge issue, and that is housing. Not gonna lie, I don't think about it that much before. I haven't thought about it, but once you actually start to pay attention, you realize how outdated the whole system is. Like everything around us is evolving with technology, cars, even phones every year. But what about houses? They're basically the same thing they've been for decades. And I think that's kind of the problem here, especially in places like Texas where there's a lot of open land. You would expect housing to be more affordable, flexible, and easier. But somehow, even with all the space we have, people are still struggling to find something affordable and comfortable at the same time. So today, I want to just break that down, talk about what is happening, why it's happening, and also share an idea that I think could actually change the way we look at housing. So, first, let's talk about the actual problem. Housing prices keep going up, and at the same time, people are getting less space for what they pay. You either pay a lot for a decent place, or you go cheaper and end up somewhere really cheap, really small. And the crazy part is that it's not like we don't have land. Like I said earlier, we live in Texas, and everything is bigger in Texas. There's actually a lot of unused space. Um, Once something is built, that's it. It doesn't change, it doesn't adapt. But people's lives are always evolving and changing. People move jobs, they move out, sorry, change jobs, and families grows, situations evolve and change. So there's this mismatch between what people need and what housing actually offers. And that is why so many people feel stuck when it comes to finding a place to settle in. So naturally, people look at options that are available, but honestly, I think none of them are perfect. Apartments are probably the most common choice, but they're expensive and you're stuck with the same layout. Tiny homes sounds cool at first, but realistically, they can be way too small for everyday life. And big houses are just too expensive to afford, especially for college students really like moving right after college. They try to find somewhere affordable, but they really can't. Yeah. Once you buy it, you're locked into the structure. So basically, every option forces you to sacrifice something. Either sacrifice money, space, your comfort, and even time. And I think that's the biggest issue. There's no solution that gives all the three at the same time. So that's where my idea comes in, which is a foldable transforming house. Think about it. Think about how amazing that would be. The concept is actually really simple. Instead of having a house that stays the same all the time, you have one that can change into any environment you desire and into comfortable space that's also close to the city. It starts as a compact unit, which makes it easier to transport and more affordable and more efficient in terms of space. But when you open it, it can fold and it expands into a fully living space with everything you need. So instead of choosing between space and cost, you can kind of get both. And I think that what makes it interesting because it adapts your life instead of forcing you to adapt to it. So you can move it wherever you want, and it's pretty comfortable and way cheaper. All right, so now I'm gonna go interview my sister, who's an architect, interior designer. Stay back with us. All right, so I'm here with.
Mehrere.
She's my sister. She's an architect. All right, the question is, if you had the option, would you live in a foldable house like this one?
Of course, yes. First, because of the flexibility of
Mm-hmm.
moving the house
Yes.
from like city to another. If you
Mm-hmm.
just feel like
Right.
I don't want to be in the city anymore, or you have a problem of, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
weather or whatever that is suitable for you every month, every few months.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be really comfortable
Mm-hmm.
to have like the flexibility
Right.
of trying many cities and to feel like more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, in a calm weather, or like to just move from heavy rains
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then coming from Lebanon, would you think it would work like worldwide? Like, would this project, would would our product like, be fittable in Lebanon?
Every product have to be fittable in the country, but you have to work on it. Like, let's say, in Lebanon, maybe they like مثلا more, let's say, a type of color or
Mm-hmm.
like a special material.
Right.
So you have to adapt your product to match or to fit
With the
the
people.
country or the people taste or whatever.
Right.
So that's why in Lebanon you have
Mm-hmm.
many mountains,
Right.
maybe. So it has
Uh-huh.
to be more suitable for mountains.
Right. And then last question, what do you think the cost should be for something like this since you're an architect and you know about like steel and all that?
Mm, That will be a great option for many, let's say, maybe teenagers or like
Mm-hmm.
startup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry.
So I was saying that
Mm-hmm.
uh, the product itself, it may have many additional, let's say, what can I say it, additional like
Features.
features, or like one of the great argument to sell it
Mm-hmm.
is the price itself,
Mm-hmm.
because it helps many, let's say, teenagers or new couples
Mm-hmm.
to start their own project, their own house,
Right.
from like a tiny tiny amount.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Moving on, one thing that's really important with an idea like this is how realistic it can be and how it is, especially when it comes down to pricing and materials. So like the goal would be to use lightweight but strong structure, something like steel frame combined with installed panels. That way the house is durable and safe but still light enough to be foldable and that can be moved and transported easily. You could also use things like modular wall panels and built-in furniture that can fold or slides, which saves space and makes transformation easier. Now, as for pricing, that's actually where the idea becomes really interesting because photos of a house like this could potentially be produced at much lower costs than like real houses, especially if it's mass produced. For example, something like this can range anywhere from like 15,000s to 16,000s depending on the size, the materials, and all the features. So when you look at everything together, the problems, the limitations of current housing and the potential for something more flexible, I really do think housing needs to evolve, especially for like people trying to save money and like coming right after college in debt. Um Ideas like foldable housing show that we can actually design smarter solutions for people that need it. Maybe some people don't need it. So for people that need it, to make things more affordable and make flexible living normal. I'm not saying this is the perfect solution, obviously, yet, but I think it's a good step to the right direction for people that are looking for something like this. And honestly, I think the future of housing is going to be less building bigger and more building smarter and what matters for each person. And yeah, so this is my take on it. Thank you so much.